Now, Wales and Australia only have one win each, but who's going to finish on a high? And I thought you were going to score.
Ask a better question, you get a better answer.
Hi guys, welcome back. Both these teams are going to want to put quite a lot right. They've been pretty disappointing so far. In fits and starts, we've seen some good stuff from Australia, and then a self-destruct. And for Wales, they've been in good positions, but wasteful, certainly a bit complacent last week versus Georgia. They're going to want to prove a point at home. Let's have a look at the team. All those front rows, the starting ones, Thomas, Owens and Lewis, but all the front rows will definitely be stinging from that pummelling they got at the end of the game against Georgia in the scrum. So they're going to want to make a statement in the scrum. But the story's in the second row, where Alan Wynne-Jones gets brought back in, all 154 caps on him. And really, is it just to bang some heads together, to get people to concentrate and focus and take some sensible options, build some phases? I think it's a good call if it's just for that. Now in the back row, we've seen Jack Morgan's a big solid fellow, maybe not the quickest, but Tipuric does look pretty sprightly, even though maybe he's lost a little bit of his physicality from his heyday. One guy who's not fading is Talupe Faletau, timeless performances from him. And with Australia without the likes of Hooper and Valentini, maybe they fancy themselves to take that back row battle. Now, Thomas Williams is actually one of the players for Wales I think has looked pretty sharp. He's got plenty of quick ball out of that ruck. It's largely been wasted by the attack, to be fair, but I think he's done pretty well. They're playing Anscombe at 10 this time. They're rotating the fly halves. I'm not sure if either he or Priestley has made a big statement yet. In the centres, another big story, Joe Hawkins starts, and I really like the look of this guy. He's got so much potential. Athletically, he's got it. Let's see how he settles on the world stage. If you're playing Australia, you'd probably choose not to go up against Karevi or maybe Paisami even first time up. He goes up against Reece Hodge. He is solid, but certainly no Karevi, so I think he's got a chance to impress there. He's alongside the very experienced George North, who has looked very dangerous, making lots of half breaks, attracting people to him. So that could work. I'm quite hopeful for that. And then in the back three, we've got Dyer, who's been building up his cap slowly. Cuthbert, and then Halfpenny finally gets to start. Ironic considering he was due to start the first game, and it's only in the last one he's managed to get a start due to injury. On the bench, we've got Elias Jones and Francis. Then Carter and McLeod, they drop down, and there's going to be demotions from last week from the loss anyway. And then Hardy appears on the bench, Prieston there covering 10, and Adams covers the back three and probably centres as well. I don't think Rees-Zammit is injured, let me know if he is, but actually maybe not a surprise he's not playing, because even though he was very quick and looking dangerous, he was quite wasteful in attack last week. So he will come good, I think. It's kind of inexperience over excitement, but Adams covering the backs on the bench. Now, there's never an excuse in international rugby or in sport in general. If you lose, whatever the reason. But it's fair to say Australia are pretty battered and bruised going into the final game. Can they raise one more time? Well, they've certainly got a few injuries. Parecki, Valentini, who's their main ball carrier. Kellaway, Tupou, that's a nasty looking Achilles injury. Could even put his World Cup in doubt, and not least Michael Hooper. And being outside the test window, they're losing a couple. I think Skelton's off the roster. Let me know if I got that one wrong. So yeah, they're definitely down on manpower. Slipper, Fainga'a and Alatoa in the front row. Frost and Neville have been pretty consistent, as has Holloway in their selection. But then they've had to bring in Fraser McWright in for Hooper. Good experience for McWright, but Hooper was really getting into his own, I thought. Lange Gleeson at 8. He's an interesting prospect. Big shoes to fill with Valentini playing so well, but this 21-year-old's tit for big things. He's been coming through the Australian system. Let's see if he's ready. So that's pretty exciting. Gordon and White are battling away for 9. That continues. Then a fairly new young 10 in Ben Donaldson. Definitely worth developing new fly halves. Foley, Lolosio were good, but are they world class? Are they nailed on? Probably not. It's worth developing Donaldson to see if he can make it for the World Cup. Hodge, well, if in doubt, you play Reece Hodge. They need a centre. Hodge goes in alongside Ikitau. And a decent back three, to be fair. Wright moves to fullback. Quite a lot of fullbacks they've gone through. On one wing, we've got Nawa Kwanatawezi, getting the name down now, hopefully. He's an absolute handful. Can't wait to see him. And then the skillful and quick Patara on the other wing. So a pretty dangerous back three, as I said. Then we see the Australian bench. Samu there definitely strikes as a good impact player. Not sure if it's the most impactful bench I've ever seen for Australia. Maybe that's where they're struggling a bit with players. Hodge playing 12 isn't the best option, to be honest. So they're a little thin on the ground. Prediction-wise, I'll probably go for the home team again, Wales. just because they're at home really, and the fact that Australia are down quite a few impact players. Let me know what you think of those teams, who's going to win, and I'll catch you next time.